Guys, apologies for the backlight, but I just thought we have such a beautiful sun coming up right now. It would be really great to use that in the video, because in today's video, guys, I want to talk about the wealth transfer and the underlying current that's going on in the society right now, because I have the feeling that there is something wrong. There is a very big disbalance going on right now, and we can see that in the markets as well. And I think this will eventually result in a very big event where most people are not prepared for. So I want to discuss that event, and I want to discuss the underlying current in today's video. I think it's very important, guys, this video. I will just speak my honest thoughts on some charts that I'm seeing, but also on the world itself, right? So I actually have many things to share in today's video, but I will probably eventually cut it down and make multiple videos about this. But I want to start with, and this might be one of the most important things I personally believe, I want to start with the underlying feeling that many of us have. Many of us, when we are looking outside into the world, we have this feeling that something is not right. And I used to have a rabbit when I was a kid, you know, and this rabbit always knew when a storm would come. It would like stamp its feet on the ground, right? And then sometimes we would look at the rabbit like, well, why he's stamping the feet on the ground? And a couple of hours later, there would be a storm, or there would be like a heavy rainfall or something. Because the instinct of this rabbit is it can feel this storm, because it's very important for the rabbit as well to feel the storm. I think we are going right now to something similar. I think there will be a jubilee year in 2028, a very big reset, guys, a very big reset. And that's definitely not for nothing that the powers right now in position are using this reset to turn it into their advantage. But I think it's not really possible to do so. It's only possible to do so with your free will. So if a lot of people would stay in the emotion of fear, right, then it's possible for them to make a decision out of free will to go into a certain direction, which will be a reset, but not directly beneficial for them. But then I also think, who am I to judge what is beneficial for him or her, right? I personally have a very high priority for freedom. So from my personal perspective, everything that limits my freedom is not beneficial for me, and everything that increases my freedom is beneficial for me. So that's the first thing, guys. That's the feeling, that underlying current that's going on in society. We're all living, we're all waking up every day, and we're all still doing what we supposed to do in this society, with in the back of our mind like, something just doesn't feel right, something is not okay, and something is going to change on a very big scale. And this is what I really think is going to happen. I think all the structures that we are seeing right now in the world, and let's keep it right now for this video into the banking and finance structures. The banking and finance structures will all come down, they will all collapse. And that can happen overnight. I don't want to scare, I don't want to fearmonger anybody, but that can happen very fast, right? It doesn't collapse of course, before the collapse, you're seeing many different things. You're seeing very much increase of the money supply, which we are already seeing right now. Hyperinflation is around the corner, right? What I find interesting is when you look at the charts, you are seeing tech stocks are in a boom, right? AI is going up, gold is going up, S&P 500 is going up, because the tech stocks, they are bringing the regular financial markets up as well. The only thing that's not really going up right now, guys, is crypto. How is that even possible? I think it is one of the most clear things right now that crypto, if we are going to see a wealth transfer, and I think we are going to see a wealth transfer, because we can see it in the underlying current of the society, we can feel it, but also we can confirm this with data. For example, the Shemitah cycle or Jubilee year that is written about in the Bible, right? It is pretty clear, because all the previous times we had a Shemitah year, it's also confirmed, right? It's not that we just take a year out of the sky and then just put that year there and I say like, okay, I think this is that year that something is going to happen. No, that year is really taken from the I always have a problem with this word. From the numerology that is mentioned in the Bible, but it's also confirmed with previous events that happened in the past. The dot-com bubble, 2001, that popped. The housing market crisis in 2008. So it is confirmed. It's not only just some numbers taken out of the sky, right? So that's important to know as well, because for me personally, it brings more significance to what is going to happen. So then we have this situation where right now everything is going up. The 10 tech stocks, guys, have a combined market cap of almost right now 25 trillion US dollars. 25 trillion US dollars. Imagine. That is crazy. And that is tech stocks. If we look at crypto, guys, crypto can be at a similar level, if not higher, because of the potential of taking over the whole financial system. And this process, and that's the important timing, this process I think will happen between now and 2028. So there is not much time, right? I see many people being so bearish on crypto and talking about a bear market, and I understand maybe 2026 is not going to be the most bullish year. I don't know, but I do know that things are going to get crazy. Because imagine, guys, a system that has been built up for how long? How long is the US dollar in the rotation? I don't even know. I have to look that up. You can let me know in the comment section, guys. But a system that's going on for such a long time is running to its end. It is collapsing and something new is going to take over. The whole world as we know it, guys, is going to completely change. A lot of people that used to have a lot of power will lose all their power. And a lot of people that had no power at all will suddenly gain a lot of power. There is a big shift going on, and finance and crypto is going to be a big part of it. And it's very strange right now that crypto is still being so low, and that the sentiment of crypto right now is still at very low levels. People are very bearish. While we are in this transition of one of the biggest events that you and me are probably going to experience in our lifetime, and that will end up in the history books, and that we can talk about with our kids and with our grandkids, like, 2028, that was a crazy year, and the years leading up to that was also pretty crazy. I talked with ChatGPT the other day, although I'm not that much a fan of using too much AI, because I think it takes away, again, a little bit of your own authenticity, but for some tasks it can make it easy. I asked him, how would the years before a Jubilee year feel and see? And he would explain exactly. I can do this with you guys in detail more in different videos, but he would explain exactly what we are seeing right now. Increased tension, increased polarity, high inflation, all these things that we are seeing right now, he would mention as signs before a Jubilee year. It's not a coincidence that we are seeing so many people online, the people that are probably more connected with divinity, more connected with God, having certain visions. Right? And share those visions online, having certain dreams about crypto charts going through the roof, or, dreams about this wealth transfer. It's not for nothing that if you look at the whole society as one consciousness, that right now in a corner of that consciousness, that idea is starting to come up, right? And then people resonate with it, and then that group is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until, a lot of people are seeing it, and then it is actually loaded into our consciousness. But I think we should think deeply about this. We should really think deeply about this. We should meditate on this. We should pray on this, because the world is really going to change, and we are going to be in front of a position where we can choose which way to go, right? And this is what I really believe with all of my heart, it doesn't matter the decision that you make, the external world has to respect your decision. That's the law of free will. The external world will try to manipulate you in making maybe a wrong decision, if that's even possible to make a wrong decision, because with a wrong decision there are new lessons involved. So maybe it is the path someone needs to take, I don't know. But I know that this world is full of manipulation and full of being deceived. And I know for a fact that this world will try, let you make certain decisions out of your free will that might not be the decisions that you would make if you would be completely connected to your authentic self and not living from an idea or not living from certain programs that have been programmed into your mind. The next years are going to be very important, very volatile. I also think that, and I think crypto is going to be a big part of it, and there is so much space to grow in crypto. And maybe, like I said, maybe in 2026 we're going to get a bear market like everyone is expecting. I'm going to tell you what I expect and what I'm doing. I don't think we are going to see really a bear market as we know how a bear market is. I think many altcoins have seen so much corrections. They've been so put to the downside. I mean, how low can they go? That's what I think, and I think that we will see a counter move very soon. So I'm remaining bullish, and even though 2026 will be a bear market, this big event of this lifetime I don't want to miss. So I'm at least going to stay positioned somewhat in crypto for a big portion of my portfolio. Because I just don't want to miss this event. And I think, guys, we have a very unique opportunity right here. We have a very unique opportunity right here because we have the powers in play right now. And I'm talking about all industries. I'm talking about everything. But in this video, only about the financial sector, of course. But everything is going to go down. It's going to lose its power. People are going to see through the illusion. It's not built on truth. The ground is shaking and it will collapse. New structures have to be built, right? New structures in all sectors, everything. New structures have to be built. And that is where we should put our attention to. Like, what can we do? In what type of world do we want to live? That's going to be a very important question. Because in that new world, I don't think it is that important to accumulate wealth. It's not that important anymore, right? We have different values. Connection with each other is going to be very important. Personal development is going to be very important. The growth of your consciousness is going to be very important. Health for your body is going to be very important. There will be probably a lot of technology, or maybe we carry the technology within us, that we don't need to do a lot of things. We don't need to work. We don't need this thing that we used to know as a 9-to-5 job. We don't need to sit in call centers. We don't need a lot of things that right now I said. It's going to be a completely different world. And in this world where we are still living in a world of scarcity, and I need more than the other person, and you need to accumulate, and so forth and so forth, I think that behavior and those emotions will be less in that new world. So we have to think, what do we want to do in this new world, right? I already said it on my personal channel, right? Like, let's get rid of the fast food industry and let's get some restaurants that are really focused on empowering the health and bodies of human beings. Doing the most healthy restaurants, that is going to be the norm. But maybe I'm still looking too limited, like too easy. Okay, fast food gone because that brings disease. Healthy restaurants there. it is also a piece of mindset, right? Like it's also the way restaurants look at their food and the way we are. They're just a very small example. Like I'm talking literally about everything on this planet that can be changed on the fundamental state. And in the fundamental state in this world, it is based on profit, it is based on dependence, it is sometimes based on addiction. And in this world, it is all not like that. It is based on truth, it is based on purity, it's based on connection, it's based on integrity. Those things are going to be important. Those are going to be so important. These structures based on profit and whatnot, they will not work in that world. So once we are seeing that reset happening and these structures are going to come down, we have to come up, of course, with new structures that are beneficial, that make us warm, that make us like, yeah, this is how we can help humanity, right? Like, I have so many ideas about this. I'm going to make a separate video about this on my personal channel. So yeah, check that out. I will leave a link to my personal channel down below in the description, because I think this is right now the time for it. Right now we have to start thinking like, what can we do in that new world? But maybe it'd be better to ask, what can I do? Where is my expertise? Where is my knowledge? Where is my passion? Where is my drive coming from? Right? If you are a restaurant owner, if you are a chef cook, you know, and you would start right now already like implementing like a seed oil free restaurant or like certain health things, but I think that is already that's already separating you from the herd, making you unique, which can already create, of course, a lot of business, right? But again, these are very simple examples. I'm talking literally about everything, and you know probably better what would work in your sector. Maybe healthcare sector, maybe dating sector, maybe entertainment, maybe schools, whatnot, everything. Another thing, guys, why I think crypto will be really taking off, and I don't think it's going to take long, is the debt in this world. Everything in this world is based on debt. Look at the national debt of the United States. The only way to pay off the debt, if they want to pay off the debt, right? Like, I would say it would be a great idea if we just, with every single one of us on the planet, say like, debt doesn't exist, and we just start with a new system which is debt-free, and there is no one is being allowed to have really a debt. Debt is just a form of enslavement. It's mental enslavement, physical enslavement. It's not good, definitely not good. But how can you pay off the debt if you want to pay off the debt? Right? If the debt is in US dollars and you want to pay off the debt in US dollars, you have to debase the US dollars. You have to debase the currency to pay off the debt. How can you debase the currency? By printing more of it. So what do? You print more currency, you let it flow into crypto, right? Crypto takes very big market share from the whole wide world, and then the dollar is getting debased, and crypto can be used to pay off the debt, or can be maybe used as a, how do you say that, like as a collateral for the debt, I don't know, because they can also then eventually like debase the dollar, inflate Bitcoin, so make the valuation of Bitcoin way higher than it actually is, then use that Bitcoin as collateral for the coverage of that debt. If you know what I mean. I don't know exactly the structure that's going to take place, but this is one of the most obvious things they can do in order to get rid of the debt, right? And then still remain in power, because probably is one of the only countries then in the world that is not really having a debt. So yeah, that is, I think that's going to happen. Another thing that's very interesting, guys, I will talk about this in future videos as well, is what we are seeing right now with precious metals. Every precious metal is actually going up, but in specific, gold. Gold is going up crazy. And if you lay over Bitcoin's chart on top of the gold chart, guys, there is actually like, this chart has been correlated since its inception. Right, since Bitcoin is there, like the gold tops and Bitcoin tops have been correlated slightly, the corrections too. There has been some times where like Bitcoin topped and gold was a little bit in a corrective phase, but still gold saw like kind of like the same timing at top, or there's like some little bit delay in one of the two. But right now there's a complete how do you say, complete diversion between those lines. Gold is just going crazy and Bitcoin is just staying here, right? So what does it tell us? The correlation is gone? Maybe Bitcoin is being pulled down, is being hauled down like a ball on the water, and once it's getting released, boom, it will follow gold. I would believe something like that is more obvious to happen. Why? Because crypto, I definitely think, is going to be a very big part in this coming wealth transfer. And guys, I even just got a message in the mail, like a book. I get a book in the mail from the government talking about how to act when all the electricity goes off and in the blackout situation. Like, imagine, like, I've never experienced in my whole life a blackout in the Netherlands. I've never, everything just works here very fine, you know. I also don't know if they do it more to spread fear or whether they really, but the interesting thing is like, technology should be better right now. Right, I haven't experienced blackout in my whole life in this country, and now like years later, technology should be so much better, and then we suddenly have the threat of a blackout, and we have to prepare for that. Sit at home in fear. Well, I definitely will not sit at home in fear. A blackout is a good opportunity to fast and pray, definitely. But what I'm trying to say is that. We all know, we see it from all directions, that just something is going on, something crazy is happening, and this is also something that many people have seen with phishings. Is there's like a cyber attack, right? And then the banks do not work anymore, right? So this can also be another way to drive you into a certain direction. But you always have to realize, guys, that everything has a positive and negative outcome with you being the decision maker. So everything that life is thrown at you from the external way, that can be anything, right? It can be an accident. I had, for example, an accident. It can be a blackout. It can be your money gone on the bank. Who knows, right? You have the choice to sit at home and be a victim of that situation, right? Or you can stand in your power and use that situation to keep your back straight, to overcome this challenge and to get more freedom, to get more knowledge, to get an even better person. This is, I personally believe, the right way. Everything that's thrown at you from externally, make that fuel to grow internally. That is so important, because then everything that's being thrown at you will just make you stronger. It will make you only stronger. And it's definitely possible. And it's not about how much money someone has, right? If you lose all your money overnight, how are you going to feel? This is going to be important questions to ask. How are you going to feel? Can you handle it? Can you step over that ego part of like, I used to have that, you know, step over it and let's see how can we continue? How can we do this and that and this and that? How can we build something up? Because I also believe, guys, this is all that scarcity mindset we don't need in that new world. Like funds and abundance will come to those who believe they deserve it. Right? Those who believe they deserve it will get that automatically. So it's all an internal state, and that internal state has to be reflected by the external eventually, although the external will try to test a little bit you to check how true your internal state is. So if you internally have this, yeah, I believe this and this and that, okay, the external will be a little bit like, okay, let's throw some situations. Let's see how big is the conviction of this person. How big is his or her faith, right? And when you then pass these tests, the universe has to adjust to you because you have shown that you truly believe that that is the way and that is possible from here. And not only from here. Guys, long video today, different video, no charts, just rambling here with my morning cup of tea. And but yeah, let's talk more about this. I'm very curious about what all of you guys are going to say in the comment section. Let's talk more about this. Big things are going to happen. Do not let yourself get shaken out mentally or, you know, out of the markets. If you believe something is going to happen, then don't really listen too much to everyone online, I would have to say, but really try to listen more to yourself. You know, what do you think is important? What do you think is going to happen in the next coming months and years? What do you really think? And stick to that. And just stick to that with full conviction. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, there's a big divergence going on right now in the world with all asset classes going up except crypto. But there is an underlying current, guys. There's an underlying current that that is telling me something is happening. Something is happening on a very big scale, and we are seeing the manifestations of that sooner or later. And whether it will be 2026, 2027, exact timing, like, I just don't know, right? I really don't know, and no one knows, basically. But I do know, I do think that, let's say I think, when it happens really fast. That's all I'm going to say for today's video. Guys, I want to wish every single one of you a beautiful Sunday, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye bye.